Welcome back to Vigor. It's your boy, Stealth Jet, leader of the JSS. You know, I'm not one to spoil anything, I'm really not. But, notice the title of this video. In 14 hours, yeah, that's right, in 14 hours, another video will be released with this same title, but a 2 behind it. Like I said, I'm not one to spoil anything, but I'm one who analyzes a lot of stuff, right? I don't want to say I'm an over-analyzer, but I like to think. I like to think things through and, analyze the results. So with that being said, we're here on Diverg Forest. Notice something strange? Lobby's pretty small, isn't it? Usually, Diverg Forest is full of Outlanders. In this video, there isn't. Outlanders are spread few and far and few in between. This leads to a good experiment. How does the game pan out when there's less people in it? Thanks to the lobby size, this game is a handicap. What do I mean by that? Well, in a full encounter, when there's teams and everybody kills each other, 30% of the way into the game? And then everything starts to settle down? Well, in this video, everything's already settled down. There's less people. So how is the game gonna fare out? And let me just say this right now. I'm still coming off of a cold, so if I sound a little bit weird, just bear with me. Just bear with me. Also, that may lead to me not talking as quickly and or as much. But my point still stands. Do you hear any gunshots? No. Neither do I. And right here in the actual gameplay, I'm looking and I'm thinking yo, where's the Bard house at? And it doesn't hit me right now. But as I exit this house, this is when it hits me that this game might be something a bit special. And now I hear gunshots to my left. I'm gonna spoil it right now. The container is to my left. The container is to the west. The Bard house is straight down this hill in the supermarket across from the red house. That's the Bard house. So I'm going to hit this pump station and decoy the airdrop, because all I've heard was one series of gunshots near the container. And look, so I decided to switch my attention because I'm trying to figure out what is everybody doing, and I don't want to go to the detector and figure out the hard way that somebody was camping it the entire time and then I get shot in the head. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna play it by ear, literally by ear, because I'm listening for anything and anybody. I'm gonna walk down this hill and look, we only heard one set of gunshots, and that's it, near the detector. And that one set of gunshots got me thinking, where the hell is everybody at? Encounters are never usually this quiet. As the game goes on, people are getting more and more bloodthirsty because they have nothing else better to do. For me, my goal is to max out my house. But what's going to happen after that? Will I become a sweat? I hope not. I hope I still play smart and, cautiously. But as of right now, I still do what I usually do. And yeah, I get stuck in the river. Don't say anything about that. So I'm walking to the last known area of gunshots. And I'm like, bruh, I should be getting ambushed right now. I'm about to cross this road like a headless chicken. And yet nothing's happening. So, here's a tip for all my players with scopes. Well, if you have a scope weapon by now, you should. Well, if you got a plan for. Well, no, not even say that. Okay, tip. Here's what I usually do for anybody out there. Don't walk up to the area that you want to get to. Your scope is a unocular, not a binocular, but a unocular. Unocular. I spot a dead body on top of the container. Gotta do a bit of conclusion here. I was gonna say investigative work, but somebody died on top of the container. I heard gunshots earlier. That can only mean that somebody's watching that container. It would not be the best bet to walk over there and try to open said container. So, with that in mind, what's the other thing to do? Go to the barred house. So I'm heading that way now. Knowing that that container is pretty much compromised, or at least I am. Okay, I'm gonna show my age here a little bit. If any of you have played Minesweeper on like Windows like 8 or some crap like that, you know you can place a flag on the mine? Yeah, I placed a flag on that container. It's a freaking bomb waiting to explode. I'm not going near it. For now. Instead, what I'm going to do is get scared by a snowball falling and keep moving. Now, somebody been through here because that door is open. They didn't close it. When you see new players, this is why I tell you, close your doors whenever you leave your house, because now I know I'm on somebody's trail. Where else could they go? They could go on the bridge, but if they go on the bridge, they're a sitting duck. So I'm going to cross the river. And I'm going to head up into this tree. And I'm just going to listen. This tree right here. And when you know it, somebody's to my left. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not moving, here's the thing. When you move, your body moves. Right? If that person was watching anything remotely near this tree, they would have seen my hand clipping from like the leaves of the tree. And they would have known that they're not alone. Gotta stay still. Gotta maintain your stealthy presence while you still got it. So now that I know somebody's nearby, and they were to my left, what could they be at? Well, I heard them on snow. Right? I heard them on snow. So, logic says that they should be outside the house. On snow. Why not pull up on one of these rocks, go prone, and think, and watch? This is why you see me be real slow and real quiet. Because I'm listening. Let me ask you this. Do you think he's listening too? Do you think that he went another direction because he heard footsteps coming up behind him? You gotta think about stuff like that. The more information you give your enemy, the harder it becomes to surprise them and to take their loot by killing them. Now here comes the plan. Here comes the plane. I know the barred house is right there in front of me. I know it is. But am I going to go for it? No, not really. Because we know somebody's down there. And you see I go prone up here, trying to get line of sight on them, but it doesn't work out. So, they can have the barred house. It's cool, it's fine. But now it's just like, is everybody being quiet? Or does nobody have a weapon and they don't want to shoot? The latter option, definitely not the case. And there's your proof right there. People will shoot you in this encounter. The container proves it. The gunshots we heard at the very beginning of the game proves it. And that right there proves it too. Remember that flag I placed on that container and said, that's a trap. That's a trap. That is a trap indeed. My boy was waiting there the entire time. Waiting for somebody. And that's another person right there. Sounds like an M21. So actually, in hindsight, there were two people there. They didn't know that each other were there until one person popped out the trees and shot off the locks from the container. Now, look, I get that this may not have been the most, how can I put this, action-packed encounter. But it's the lack of action that should scare you. You're used to hearing gunshots, aren't you? But when you don't hear anything, that should scare you. That should scare you because you need to know where people are at. You need to know who is where, depending on what weapon that they fire with. Now, I know somebody's here. I just heard them fire about 10 seconds ago, which means they should still be around. I'll pull up behind this rock and I'm thinking, if they're in the container, wouldn't it be best if I cross the road and get above them? And I want to do it while they're still in the container. So I make a break for it. Now I'm good. I'm good because I got something between myself and the container. He should not know that I'm around. So I'm going prone right here and crawling up to this ridgeline where the container is easily spotted. And I hear footsteps. There he goes. Off to where young Olaf died. As I've said, you're used to hearing gunshots. You're used to hearing footsteps. At least you should be. You're used to hearing people firing off random shots for no reason at all at random people. But when you don't hear that, when you don't have any information, the lack of information should scare you. Fear stems from the lack of information, which is why using a PSD takes away all the excitement and all the action that this game should give you. But I'm not gonna go into that because I've already covered that in a separate video. And I'm not knocking the use of PSDs, portable signal detectors. I'm not knocking the use of them. All I'm saying is the game was in a way different state before those things were introduced. And so all I'm gonna do is run up to the airdrop, swipe it, and get the heck out of here. And that's it. Now, what can you learn from this encounter? Well, my dear viewer, you won't learn anything from this encounter. At least, I don't think you would. You may learn something at the end of today's video in 14 hours. What I want you to focus on, though, is this number right here. Focus and remember this number. And you know what? I'm probably going to screenshot this and put it in today's video. Remember this number. I'll catch you in the next episode. Until next time, peace.